Hello, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me okay and that they can see the screen and see the slideshow. So if somebody would just pop into the chat to make sure that we can, or the Q&A, and I'll just make sure that everybody can hear us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Can everyone hear us? I do just want to make sure that everyone can hear us before we get started. So if somebody could just do that for me, that would be great. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to October 2025 Kapnick Strive webinar. My name is Renee, and I'm here with Emma, and we are wellness coordinators here at Kapnick Strive. Today, we're going to explore practical ways to age gracefully. Aging is something we all experience, and it's an inescapable part of being alive. But how we approach it can make a huge difference in both appearance and confidence. Today, we'll discuss the science behind skin aging, effective skincare routines, cosmetic procedures, and how to combine these strategies safely and realistically. By the end of this session, you'll have tools and knowledge to create a personalized plan that fits your lifestyle and goals. So people are living longer today than ever before, and that means more years to hopefully enjoy a healthy, vibrant life. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, cosmetic procedures have been increasing steadily year over year, reflecting growing interest from both women and men in maintaining appearance and self-confidence. But aging gracefully isn't about looking younger, it's about feeling good, protecting your health, and making choices that are right for your unique body and lifestyle. And we'd like to do this disclaimer. As always, at Kapnick Strive webinars, we are not a substitute for medical advice from your healthcare provider. So please talk to your doctor, whether that's your dermatologist or primary care physician, about any concerns or questions you may have regarding skincare, cosmetic procedures, and healthy aging. So the phrase aging gracefully has evolved. It's not about hiding wrinkles or trying to look decades younger. Today, it's more about maintaining your health, vitality, and confidence as you age. Researchers and psychologists emphasize that embracing natural changes while taking proactive care, like sun protection, nutrition, and targeted skincare, leads to better mental well-being. So aging gracefully is about striking a balance between self-care, interventions, and acceptance. Some of the first outward signs of aging or wrinkles and changes to our skin. So this is how our skin ages. And so many products and procedures exist to kind of blur or slow down or outright hide these natural lines. So to understand what aging gracefully entails, we first need to really understand the skin. So our skin has three main layers. It has the outer epidermis, the supportive dermis, and the deeper subcutaneous layer that contains fat and connective tissue. Aging happens naturally, and it's called intrinsic aging. And this is when collagen production slows and skin loses its elasticity. But environmental factors or extrinsic aging, like sun exposure, smoking, pollution, can accelerate this process. And the result ends up being fine lines, sagging, age spots, and uneven texture. But studies show that about 80% of visible skin aging is due to sun exposure, highlighting the real importance of protection from the sun. So let's start with this number one cause of premature aging, the sun. Research shows that up to 80 to 90% of visible aging on the face, things like wrinkles, loss of elasticity, and even uneven pigmentation, comes from ultraviolet UV radiation, not from the natural passage of time. And there are two types of UV rays that affect the skin. One is UVA, which stands for ultraviolet A, and this goes deep into the skin, penetrating the dermis and breaks down the collagen and elastin that keeps your skin firm. The second one is UVB, or ultraviolet B. This causes sunburns and can damage the DNA in the skin cells. So over time, this UV exposure weakens the skin's structure by switching on enzymes that destroy collagen and slowing down the body's ability to rebuild it. Together, this process is called photoaging, and it's biologically distinct from chronological aging. So even indirect sunlight matters. UVA can penetrate glass, which is often why drivers show more wrinkles and pigmentation on the left side of their face, the side that's closer to the driver's window. The good news is wearing a broad spectrum sunscreen every day, like SPF 30 or higher, really can prevent these changes. So pairing sunscreen with antioxidants, ingredients like vitamin C, vitamin E, or green tea extracts gives your skin extra protection by helping to block and repair damage from sunlight. In addition to sunscreen, physical protection makes a big difference. So wearing like a wide brimmed hat, ideally with at least a 3-inch brim, can block up to 50% of the direct UV exposure to the face and neck. Dermatology studies show that areas not covered by a hat, like the nose, cheeks, and ears, are where most skin cancers and sun-induced wrinkles develop over time. Also, wearing lightweight UPF-rated fabrics, sunglasses, and seeking shade during the peak sun hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., further reduce long-term UV damage. So what are some lifestyle factors that affect the skin's aging? So, well, we just talked about how protecting the skin from the sun is essential, but how we live every day also makes a difference. The main lifestyle factors that speed up or slow down aging are tobacco and nicotine use, alcohol, diet, exercise, stress, and sleep. So let's start with tobacco and nicotine. Whether it's cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, or vaping, all of these reduce oxygen and nutrients reaching your skin and making it look dull and less elastic. The chemicals and heat from the smoke or vapor trigger inflammation and break down collagen faster. In twin studies, the one twin who used tobacco almost always looks a year or two older than the other twin. The next is alcohol. This too can take a toll on the skin. Drinking too much dehydrates the skin and causes inflammation. When alcohol is broken down in the body, it produces compounds that damage collagen and elastin, leading to redness, puffiness, and a rougher texture. Diet also matters. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and olive oil are rich in antioxidants that help the skin repair daily damage. On the other hand, foods high in sugar or refined carbs cause a process called glycation, which stiffens collagen and makes the skin less flexible. So it's been found that people who eat more of a Mediterranean-style diet tend to have fewer wrinkles and healthier-looking skin. Exercise also plays a major role. Regular physical activity boosts blood flow, bringing oxygen and nutrients to the skin while helping remove waste products. Exercise also lowers cortisol and increases growth factors that support collagen production. So even moderate activity like brisk walking, yoga, or strength training has been shown to help skin look firmer and more vibrant over time. And finally, the last lifestyle factors, stress and sleep. When we're under constant stress, our bodies make more cortisol, or hormone that weakens the skin barrier and slows healing. Too little sleep does the same thing. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night have skin that takes longer to recover from irritation and loses moisture more easily. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep helps the body release growth hormones that rebuild skin cells overnight. So earlier we talked about how sunlight travels or drives most of the visible aging. Now let's look at what we can do every day to protect and strengthen the skin itself. So the first step is protection. And that includes a broad spectrum sunscreen like SPF 30 or higher. But it also practical habits like wearing a hat or seeking shade. These small steps keep collagen from breaking down and prevent long-term texture changes in the skin. Protection also means defending your skin from environmental stress, things like air pollution, cigarette smoke, and even extreme temperatures. These factors generate free radicals, which are unstable molecules that damage the collagen, slow repair, and make skin look dull over time. That's why products rich in antioxidants are so valuable. They help neutralize these free radicals and shield your skin from daily environmental exposure. Next, after protection, is strengthening the skin's barrier. Cleansing gently removes impurities without stripping natural oils, and moisturizing keeps the outer skin barrier strong. When the barrier is healthy, the skin holds water better, stays calmer, and looks smoother. Finally, rebuilding from within with active ingredients. One of the first ones is antioxidants, like vitamin C. This helps the skin fight environmental stress from pollution and sunlight. The second one is retinoids. These are vitamin A-based creams. These encourage new collagen and speed up cell turnover, reducing fine lines over time. In fact, a 2021 study in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology confirmed that topical retinoids reduce fine lines and improve texture over time. And the third one is peptides. These send repair signals to help the skin rebuild and stay resilient. These three steps, protect, strengthen, and rebuild, are simple, affordable, and effective. They work both for men and women and support every professional or cosmetic treatment down the road. So what can we do for treatments? When signs of aging are already visible, such as fine lines or uneven tone, that's where targeted treatments come in. Retinoids like prescription tretinoin don't just prevent damage, they actively stimulate collagen production and speed up skin cell turnover, helping to smooth existing lines and refine texture. This makes them one of the most well-studied and effective ingredients in dermatology. Hyaluronic acid works differently. It's a humectant, meaning it attracts water and holds water within the skin. That helps plump the fine lines and gives a smoother, more hydrated appearance. There are also peptides and ceramides, apologies for that strengthens the skin barrier and supports repair. Keep in mind, not all products are created equal. Medical grade skincare options offer higher concentrations and have been proven effective, but even over-the-counter products can be highly effective. The key is consistency and correct use. Like any treatment, products or medication, there is no one-size-fits-all skincare routine. There's no miracle product, and you certainly don't need a dozen of products to make a difference. The most important thing is to choose products that fit your skin type, use them regularly, and talk with a dermatologist about any concerns you might have regarding skin health, aging, and potential treatments. Go ahead and turn this over to Emma.
Thank you, Renee. So let's talk a little bit about cosmetic procedures. So for some people, skincare alone may not fully address the changes that they want to see. And that's where cosmetic procedures come in. So this is just an overview of some popular procedures that are done primarily in response to the physical effects of aging. There are non-surgical procedures like injections or dermal fillers. These are popular for smoothing lines and restoring volume. There are also energy-based treatments like lasers and microneedling that are used to improve texture and tone. Of course, there are surgical options such as facelifts or eyelid surgery, and these address more advanced changes. Often, the goal isn't dramatic transformation, it's enhancing the natural features in a way that is safe and subtle. Now, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, interest in minimally invasive treatments has grown steadily over the past decade. So now we're going to be covering these different cosmetic procedures. So starting off with neuromodulators, like Botox injections. These are shots that use a toxin to prevent a muscle from moving for a limited time. Now, these shots are often used to smooth wrinkles on the forehead, around the eyes, and even the jawline. And they can also be used for non-cosmetic reasons like neck spasms, to address sweating, overactive bladder, lazy eye, and other conditions. Botox shots also may help prevent migraines. Now, the medicine in these injections is made from the same toxin that causes a type of food poisoning called botulism. But the forms of purified botulinum toxin used by licensed healthcare providers do meet medical control standards. These standards were approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And as a rule, the bacteria toxins used for medical purposes are not harmful if used correctly. And again, according to the American Academy of Dermatology, these treatments are safe and effective when administered by trained professionals. Now, results for these kinds of injections usually last only around 3 to 6 months, and many people start using them preventatively in their 30s and 40s to slow wrinkle formation. Again, talk to your healthcare provider about any cosmetic procedures. And it's important to know that there are some possible side effects and unwanted results. And these can include pain, swelling, or bruising at the injection site, headache, or even flu-like symptoms, droopy eyelids, crooked eyebrows, maybe a crooked smile or drooling, watery or dry eyes, and even infection at the injection site. Additionally, injections such as these can start to get pricey, especially when you remember that the results are only temporary. The average cost per treatment in 2022 was $528. Moving on to dermal fillers. So as you age, your body starts to lose collagen. Collagen is an important substance that exists all over your body, including in your skin, in your muscles, your bones, and your connective tissues. Decreased amounts of collagen in your skin causes loose skin and loss of volume. And that skin becomes thinner, loses its elasticity, and starts to sag. Now, people choose to get dermal fillers to add volume back to that sagging skin. They might use fillers to make facial features more symmetrical, to plump up lips and cheeks, and to generally just smooth face wrinkles and creases. Additionally, some medications prescribed to treat medical conditions such as HIV and AIDS can cause thinness in the face. So some people may choose to get dermal fillers to restore volume to their face after taking certain medications. Now, dermal fillers are one of the most common cosmetic procedures. Every year in the United States, more than 3 million people choose to get dermal fillers. And according to studies published in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology, Fillers can last anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, depending on the product and the placement. Again, working with a certified provider ensures safety and optimal results. And lastly, love to cover it, cost is always a consideration. So the average cost of hyaluronic acid dermal fillers is $715, and the average cost of lip augmentation with fillers is $743. And that's according to the latest statistics from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. Remember, results are temporary. Next, we have energy-based treatments. These are treatments that target the skin's surface as well as the deeper layers to improve tone, texture, and firmness. These treatments include fractional lasers, intense pulsed light, radio frequency, and microneedling. These are just some popular options. We won't be covering all of them, but it's important to note these procedures are used to reduce pigmentation, tighten skin, and stimulate collagen. And then lastly, we have surgical options. So surgical procedures are typically considered when non-invasive treatments can't achieve that desired effect. There are a number of surgical options, including facelifts, neck lifts, eyelid surgery, brow lifts, all to address advanced sagging or skin laxity. As with any surgery, there are side effects and you do risk certain complications. So risks for facelift surgery, for example, include anesthesia issues, infection, wound healing issues, changes in skin sensation or numbness, facial nerve injury, temporary or permanent hair loss, scarring, prolonged swelling, and skin color irregularities. While we won't be covering all surgical options in detail, the average cost of a facelift is $11,395, according to the latest statistics, again, from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. This average cost is only part of the total price, and it doesn't include the cost of anesthesia, operating room facilities, or other related expenses. Surgical options have been shown to improve confidence and improve mental or emotional well-being in some individuals, but it's important to have realistic expectations and to remember that you will continue to age after your surgery. Now, is it safe? Are all of these cosmetic procedures safe? Safety is always paramount, right? So procedures, even non-invasive ones, carry some risks, like we talked about, minor bruising, swelling, or rarely, more serious complications. It's important to ensure if you're considering any cosmetic procedures that you are psychologically ready and have realistic goals. Ethically, providers should prioritize natural results and health over selling the illusion of eternal youth. The pressure to look perpetually young can sometimes create unrealistic expectations, so informed decisions are essential for a positive outcome. And next, is it necessary? You might start noticing social media influencers, celebrities, coworkers, friends, family, everyone around you, it seems, starting to receive cosmetic procedures, whether it's a simple to prevent wrinkles or more invasive surgery. It can feel like everyone is partaking in the trend to try and remain perpetually youthful. But here's the truth. Everyone is aging, and that's not a bad thing. Aging is a biological process, not a failure of self-care. Elaborate skincare routines and cosmetic procedures are not necessary to live a long, happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. So healthy aging is all about balance. It's about caring for your body and your mind and not necessarily chasing perfection. So no, you don't need cosmetic procedures to age well. What really matters is protecting your health, nurturing your relationships, and staying engaged in the things that give your life meaning, and that's what graceful aging looks like. And lastly, we covered it in a few slides, but cost is an important consideration. Skincare products range from budget-friendly to high-end, while non-surgical procedures might cost a few hundred to a few $1,000s per session. Surgical options, like facelifts, are a more significant investment. It's also important to consider sustainability. So choosing treatments and products that you can maintain over time ensures consistent results and prevents disappointment. And remember, again, you will age, your body will age, your skin will age, and you cannot turn back the clock. There is no product or procedure in the world that will stop the process of aging. So to wrap up, remember these key points. Start with foundational habits, sun protection, healthy lifestyle, and preventative skincare. Always talk to your doctor or licensed provider when exploring new treatments or to refine your current one. And most importantly, focus on safety, sustainability, and self-acceptance. Aging gracefully is less about trying to erase time. It's about embracing it with care, confidence, and knowledge. So before we end, we would like to leave you with one question. What's one small action you can take to age gracefully? It might be wearing sunscreen more consistently, adding more color to your plate, or simply being kinder to yourself in the mirror. Whatever it is, that's where graceful aging begins. And if you're interested in learning more, check out the resources on this slide. There is the American Academy of Dermatology. They have tons of free resources and information on their website. So from building simple skincare routines to finding trusted products and providers, they have wonderful resources. If you are looking for a fresh and inspiring perspective on aging, check out Dana Bowman's TED Talk, The Benefits of Aging with Grace. She talks about embracing imperfection and humor as we grow older, and it's a reminder that aging can be joyful and also deeply human. And if you're interested in understanding how our culture views aging and how we can challenge those beliefs, I highly recommend this book, This Chair Rocks, A Manifesto Against Ageism by Ashton Applewhite. It's insightful, thought-provoking, and empowering. Thank you all so much for joining us today for Aging Gracefully, Insights on Cosmetic Procedures and Skincare. Remember, aging well is not about perfection. It's about caring for yourself, embracing change, and making choices that feel authentic to you. If you'd like to revisit any of today's information or share it with coworkers or friends, a recording of the webinar will be available in the Strive library by the end of this week. And if you enjoyed today's session, we'd love to see you at our next webinar on November 19th. Mindful Consumption, the Impacts of Wanting More. So you can scan the QR code on this slide or visit the Strive library to register. Until next time, take care of your skin, your health, and yourselves. Thank you.